Well, it's great to see you back in a wonderful character role. You're doing so many wonderful own. Tell me about the journey so far with this musical and with the character, how you've jumped into it.
Well, that's the story. I am one of the originals, I suppose. 9 years ago, Ron Sharp, our producer, and I were both actors in Les Mis. And Ron Sharp came to me and says, I'm going to be a producer. I said, oh, cool, Ron, that's good. And he said, I'm doing a reading of this new musical this Sunday after the matinee. You want to do it? I said, sure. And then Sunday comes along and I'm thinking, why did I give away my Sunday afternoon? This is stupid. So I go off to Carson Studios over some pizzas. We read this this total cold, read this musical, and I do my funny comic villain thing, and they love it. They think I'm very funny. So when they ask me to do it again a few months later, I say sure. So 9 years rolls along. I do dozens and dozens and dozens of readings, dozens and dozens of backers presentations, a concept album, a workshop. I went down and I did the show at the Oslo down in Sarasota. Sure. I am the only person who has ever done this role. So they think I'm the only one who can ever do it. But the truth is...
You are, though. You can
play my role. Anybody can play this role.
Watch him do it first.
Yes. But anyhow, so I've been working on this for 9 years. And the great thing about working on something for 9 years without having to do it 8 times a week is you get to live with the role and mull it over and then come back to it and then try something new and come back to it. It's great. So I've been having a wonderful time with the part. And the part is... it's wonderful.
I was just going to say, a part like that, too, being able to come back and breathe with it, walk away from it, and have different eyes looking at it creatively. Now with Warren...
yeah. Because, it's not just different directors and whatever that we have, but, the people I act opposite have been different.
Who's informing it?
Surely.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's been a joy to work on this for all this time.
Well, it's great. I think it's with this kind of story, Dickens, and you're these big epic tales, and these characters are so rich. I think the journey so far with it is informing it, how it's going to show up now. It almost needed that time.
The process informs the product. It's really a thing where you have this. It is. I talk about the show. People ask, well, how is it different from Les Mis? Les Mis is basically a chase story where Javert is chasing Valjean. This is a monster story with a love story set on top of it, or a monster story set on top of a love story. It's the monster of the French Revolution that's coming to destroy the relationship that we've come to care so much. And just before the monster sets his teeth on Charles Darnay, Sidney Carton runs in and saves him. And but it is that inexorable sort of like thing. And I wish I could say that the journey of this show to Broadway has seemed inexorable. It seemed like there's no stopping this show because it's been announced for Broadway several years before, and I thought, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. And now it's happening, and it's so. Just as, even though, the ending of Tales of Cities is bittersweet, it's so gratifying as to an audience to see the way it works out, and that Sidney makes something of his life, even by sacrificing of it, and that the people we've come to care about get together, and it's very gratifying to me to see this show come to Broadway because Jill Santoriello has written such a beautiful show, and Ron and Barbara have worked so hard, so long to pull this thing off. And they've gotten people from all sorts of, crazy areas to come and back the show. And we have so many people rooting for us. It's really, it's a wonderful underdog story because we're coming into a season where it's all about Billy Elliot and Shrek and blah blah blah. And I really think it's great that we're coming in as sort of I don't know what the Indy Heights of
right, exactly.
of
Just said a few decades in the past, but I think it needs it. Broadway needs these kind of stories. It needs these kind of collaborations, in all these shows. So we're so excited you're back, and a little something about monster love stories, being the original Monsieur Firmin in the Phantom of the Opera, which was that was such a wonderful role for you too. So we're glad to have you back.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Guy.
Remember how long we've been waiting, we've been praying for this day. Until tomorrow is upon us, will you follow me today?